Got a long walk to see today's guest, so bear with us. Coach Patrizi.
Yes, sir.
Thirsty?
I am.
Let's go get some coffee.
Coffee sounds good.
It's pretty rainy.
It's very rainy.
How thirsty are you?
For Heidelberg coffee, I'm pretty thirsty.
It's year 6 as the Heidelberg wrestling coach for today's guest. Each year, he's had at least one national qualifier and has played a major role in boosting the GPA and the community visibility of his team. His name is Tony Patrizi, a former kindergarten teacher turned wrestling coach. This is Coaches on Campus Getting Coffee in the Rain.
Hello, guys.
So good to see you.
How you doing?
Great. Yourself?
I'm doing good. Did you remember your wallet this time?
I did remember my wallet this time. A lot of folks on campus who are Heidelberg graduates that make a career here. Why do you think that is? What do you think draws us back?
Heidelberg is a special place to a lot of people, and I know it will be for myself and my family for a long time. My nephew is now a Heidelberg student here, so it's definitely something that my family enjoys, and my wife's a Heidelberg alum. I'm a Heidelberg alum. 4 years from now, I hope my nephew's going to be a Heidelberg alum. So.
Absolutely. You got 2 boys. I've got 2 kids as well, and
yeah,
as long as they keep tuition free for us.
Yeah, that definitely keep that up, Rob.
There seems to be like a coaching tree. They talk about that a lot in football. The Bill Belichick coaching tree or the so-and-so coaching tree. Jason Miller and his wrestlers have gone on, and I can think of almost 10, 12 collegiate coaches now that have come either as GAs here that worked with him or as student athletes. What is it about Coach Miller and that wrestling room that bred success?
And it even goes back further than that. Coach Joe Hata, who was here as a wrestler, the Hatas had been here one way, shape, or form for a lot of years, but it's kind of the cradle of coaches. And it started back years ago, but now with Jason in particular, what I learned most from him was very few people that I meet that had the work ethic that he did when he was here as a coach. He had limited resources. He had to carry 2 teams, and though the success was not there at the beginning for either team, his hard work eventually paid off. And that's, I think, what took the most. When I took into this job, I wasn't going to let anybody outwork me, and a lot of that came because I saw what Jay did when he was here, and I wanted to emulate that. And I'm finding I'm having similar success with my staff moving on to the next level. I think I've got 4 guys that I've had that are part of my program that are now coaching at the college level, whether it's a head coach with Justin Keene at Wilmington or assistant coach with Ryan Morris and Adrian. I've got coaches that have gone on to continue coaching, and I'd like to think it was partially because of me, but going back to what I learned from people like Jason.
There's just something that when you walk through when you see the football team coming out for their right before the national anthem, you see the custodian Kevin Scott, who's standing there holding the Heidelberg helmet, and they all slap the helmets. He's also the same one who you see at all the softball. Just someone like him who truly cares above and beyond about the job is one thing, but the people he cares about.
I don't think he wants you to tell him, but Terry Lemley sits in the top left corner of the stands at basketball games. He's there at wrestling meets. He doesn't say anything to you. He sneaks in, he sneaks out. But I've noticed him. I've noticed him in that corner, top left corner. We've had a lot of people that have just come to be supportive, and it's really neat to see that happen. President Huntington usually dons a mustache for Mustache Mania, so and that's coming up.
We need to address the upper lip.
Yeah. Mustache Mania has been a part of Heidelberg wrestling for, mid-2000s, so going on 10, 15 years, that Mustache Mania has been a thing. And if I ignored that tradition, I should be fired. And it took me a long time to get to this point. Sometimes you're nervous when you shave your beard if it's ever going to grow back. But I think that this is a once-a-year thing. Mrs. Patrizi's not a big fan of the mustache. She actually was pretty upset with me when I shaved last night. But I enjoy the smirks on campus when people look at me because they know why I did it. They know I did it for my guys. They know I did it for the fun of the program. We love to have fun at Heidelberg Wrestling, and if I have to don a silly-looking mustache, I'm perfectly happy with it. I know Coach Buhai is a big fan of that, and I do appreciate that. Andy, he gives me that little extra incentive to know that I don't look as silly as I think I do. So,
He's a good liar.
and I hope so. I hope that he is.
You don't have many home events, and you turn those into spectacles. They're kind of must-go-to events because I think of the work you guys put in promoting them, but also your wrestlers seem to be, to me anyway, as an observer who's at basically every game, always there. You can tell when wrestling is on the road because they're not at the game for once.
Right.
Why is that important for you guys?
I think it's how we run our program, or my expectations as a leader of the program, that when I bring a recruit in, the very first thing, the most important thing to me is that you are willing to do more for the people around you than you'd ever do for yourself. And that, yes, that goes in with being a great teammate, but when you come to a university like Heidelberg, it's a small place. And if I'm not out there supporting volleyball, if I'm not out there supporting football, if we're not out there supporting an event that's happening on campus, you're not being part of the bigger picture. And I need my guys to understand that you are the bigger picture. And I know it sounds silly going to a volleyball game and dress up and act silly, but you're being a leader within that. And when you leave this program and you go to the next place, if you bring that type of, I guess the best word is leadership to it, people are drawn to that. And we can have success and have fun at the same time. And that's important to me. You need, to be a Heidelberg wrestler, you have to want to support the people around you. If that's not important to you, there are a lot of other places you can go.
Having wrestled here, now coaching here, do you feel like you're kind of the keeper of customs, or the one who has to maintain, you see all the Americans here, maintain some of that history?
Oh yeah, I mean, I wrestled in the Tin Gym. The Tin Gym was one of the most unique facilities in college wrestling, period. It was tough to see it go, but Heidelberg University really stepped up and gave us a beautiful room. And I love my new room. But yeah, keeper of customs tradition is really important to me. There's a lot of traditions from the Tin Gym that we brought over here. Not all of them. Walking across the lobby in a towel was not one of the ones we kept, but as far as just the type of work, the type of atmosphere that we create, Mustache Mania type of thing, we want to keep, the people that came before us put us in this position, and we're going to make sure that we do what we can.
Let's take a look at the room.
Sweet.
This is a facility that does get used by the baseball, softball team. They bring the nets down for batting cages, but this really is your space.
Yeah, we're very lucky in the fact that we have a space that we get to use a good part of the year. With Mary or Coach Deppie and Fitz, we have exceptional baseball and softball programs. And when you come to a school like this, if you're not sharing resources, I mean, you're not doing the best thing for the college. So no, these actually save us quite a bit of money. We play a lot of dodgeball-esque games, and I'm pretty sure that Jeff would be pretty upset with me if there was as many lights as we would have broken by this point. So no, I don't mind them. They're respectful of our room, and I don't mind sharing.
Before you came back to Heidelberg, you were a kindergarten teacher. Mm-hmm. Now you're a college wrestling coach. Which is easier to deal with, a room full of 25 wrestlers or a room full of 25 kindergartners?
It's not even a joke. It's actually the truth. These guys just pee their pants less. And so they miss their moms. Somebody didn't play with them at recess, AKA girlfriend broke up with them. they need help organizing their homework and their time. So no, it's people. How could you go from teaching 5-year-olds to teaching 22-year-olds? There really isn't much a difference. Yeah, Dylan, Hayden, some of my seniors. I mean, I spend more time with them. I mean, everything okay? I mean, there's an awful lot of work that went into those guys to get them to where they're at today.
Luckily, they come out their own nose usually. So.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, Tony, thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it very much.
Yep.